point with these tunings, for me, it's a means to an end. It's a way to sort of unlock new ideas and unlock different ways to play. Hey, what's up guys? Mark Holcomb from Periphery here, and I'm here today to talk about 3 unique Periphery tunings. The first of which is one I guess we call drop G. So we tune everything down a whole step, and then we take the 6th string and we tune it all the way down to a low G. So what you get is the low G matching the G on the 5th string. That's like a caveman Neanderthal tuning because you get octaves like this. If you lay your finger down to do what otherwise would be like a drop D power chord, just like this. What makes this cool is, you know, the same way that I do in a drop D tuning is I'll use my thumb to fret the low 2 notes, which is an octave. I'll use the rest of my fingers to construct voicings. Again, I do this trick in drop D, but the effect here is much more, I guess, dramatic and drony sounding with these 2 bottom notes. Again, just an octave here, and you can flesh out the rest of the voicings as you please, but you have 3 or 4 other fingers to do so. That's another cool thing too. If you do an A minor chord, you have this this low reinforcing bass note that's just, it's so heavy. That tuning was the inspiration behind the song Reptile on Periphery 4. I wrote the sort of initial riffs in the song, and I brought the riffs to Jake and Misha, and us 3 together wrote the rest of the song, which is a 14-minute song. We wrote that whole song in the span of, I want to say like a day and a half or 2 days, because we were so sort of freed and liberated by this ridiculous tuning. Again, that's the whole point with these tunings. It's a means to an end. It's a way to sort of unlock new ideas and unlock different ways to play, because the same conventions, the same shapes, the same sort of movements your hand does don't make any sense, which forces your ears to actually be engaged, and it forces you to try new things. So that's the Reptile / Zagreus tuning too. Zagreus is a song off of Periphery 5 that incorporates this tuning. Another cool thing about this tuning is you can do these really cartoonishly exaggerated harmonics. So check this out. With the low G. The verse riff in Reptile, there's a harmonic people always ask about. How do you get that harmonic? And you pre-bend. So the riff is, you pre-bend. So check it out. So you bend before you hit the harmonic. And then you depress the bend. So. Another tuning I want to talk about is Scarlet tuning, and that is open C add 9. This is one that's been around a long time in the Periphery world, and in Haunted Shores world for that matter. It was one that was actually instrumental in me joining Periphery way back in 2010. So yeah, this is just, it's an open C add 9 chord. So open C with the 9th on top. So the basis for this tuning is everything's a full step down, and the B string is tuned to a G, and the G string is now tuned to E. And you get this major chord with the 9th on top. The first time I ever heard this tuning was on a, it was an old Misha demo in 2007, it must have been. It was a beautiful song that he had written. It was just called Epic Fail, and it had this just really beautiful set of chords. I thought it was this beautiful, beautiful tuning. We were only friends at the time. We weren't in the same band. I was like, I want to write a song using this tuning. I went home and I wrote the first couple riffs of Scarlet. Much the same with the Reptile tuning. It forces you to completely change the way you think about note relationships, and the same shapes, the same pentatonic licks, the same exercises that you do in standard tuning no longer work in an open tuning. So again, it forces you to sort of use your ears, which, contrary to, I think, what a lot of us would like to admit, is I don't use my ears a lot. Sometimes when I pick up a guitar, I'm constantly just going back to the same shapes and patterns and exercises, and this forces you to not do that. Those intervals don't make sense any longer. The beautiful thing about this kind of tuning, and any open tuning, is it forces you to sort of get out of your standard set of patterns, intervals. And then we've also had a number of songs over the years that incorporates this tuning. It's a really beautiful tuning. It's challenging to write a heavy song in because it's so sort of happy sounding. The song Scarlet was one of the sort of jumping off points for me eventually working with the guys in Periphery, and the song ended up making on Periphery too. This next tuning is what we call wax wings tuning in Periphery. And I don't know what this tuning's called. I've barely memorized the notes that I'm supposed to tune to, and it's because I have it written down here. This high string, bear with me, high string is a C sharp, B string is an A, third string is E, and then A, F sharp, and then D on the bottom. Musicianship, yay. And then the eventual sound that you get from just strumming the strings open is the whole reason I stumbled upon this tuning, I definitely didn't invent it. People are like, how did you invent that? I didn't, everything is cyclical and circular in the music world. But I stumbled upon this band from Japan called Toe that I really love, and they had the song called Two Moons. And there was a riff, I loved it, it was always stuck in my head. Just seemed like such a unique, interesting tuning. I've always been aware of it since I heard that song. It wasn't until the writing sessions for Periphery 5 during the pandemic, I fell into this massive rut where I felt like I couldn't write anything. It's the kind of rut that I hit every once in a while, where it sort of makes me question everything. For me, it's about finding, whether it's gear, whether it's tunings, whether it's activities, going for a walk, putting down the guitar for a week, these ways to get out of ruts. And that's been so key for me. It almost always works. One of the tricks I found is throwing my guitar in a different tuning. And this was one of those scenarios where, during those sessions I was really frustrated, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the Toe tuning. Just beautiful open tuning. And I said to myself I was gonna try and write, a couple of riffs in this tuning. I think it was just one weekend where I started messing around with those shapes that ended up becoming wax wings. And because of the way the open strings work with each other in this tuning, you can get some really effortlessly beautiful sounds with these very minimalist chords.